Welcome to Sports City, your home of sports analysis. You are with me, Bill Clinton Odhiambo. My sign language interpreters are Gideon Maina. Later on, we will be joined by Jadida Wafula. But then again, remember our channels of communication are officially open. Tuko live ndani ya Facebook, YouTube pale unaweza tupata at Science TV Kenya 0111 980 and we have a lot lined up for you this afternoon. As you can see with me, joining me this afternoon, the three gentlemen. These are the face of the Kenya national amputee football team. I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves. Lakini kama kawaida, football action is also back. The Kenya Premier League is kicking underway today at about 3 p.m. We also have the English Premier League once again is also back. We're going to talk about all that later on. But first, we have to talk about our topic of the day, our main focus of the afternoon. That is inclusion in sports. And just like I said, with me this afternoon is the Kenya national amputee football team. From the farthest, and tuko na Mr. Coach himself.
Yes.
Mr. Dalmas, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Thanks so much for making time. Pale katikati tuko na captain, kijana tayari pale, Nicholas Keyo.
Asante.
Uko salama?
Niko poa kabisa.
Kabisa. Also, thank you so much for making time. Farthest pale mwisho tuko na Mr. SG himself.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Mr. Peter Olo.
Yes, sir.
Uko salama?
Niko salama.
Kama kawaida pia tumeshukuru sana for making time to come through hapa ndani ya Science TV and share all is there to talk about as far as the Kenya amputee football is concerned. Now, of course, you're part of the team that represented Kenya in the first African Para Games that did take place. It recently concluded pale Ghana, and of course, the results are still when you're but then again, for that being the first Para African Games, it says quite a lot about how the development of the sports generally, that is the amputee football. And just to hit the ground running na tuongelea the general preparedness when ilikuwa, how the tournament was, and where we should improve generally, both as a team and also as a country, to help soar the fruits as far as the amputee football is concerned. Now let me just start with you, coach, and maybe captain pia unaweza changia kidogo.
Yes,
I would like to know you this time around, it was the first time you were guiding the team as the coach, because before ulikuwa part of the team as a player.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
Also as a captain, your vast experience in the sport was much really needed. And this time around as a coach, how can you summarize the how the tournament was in Ghana?
For me, I think the tournament was okay.
Right.
As much as we did not get the results we wanted, it was a learning experience for us.
Right.
Because we had not played any meaningful event tournaments before the Ghana event.
Right.
So for us, it was about like jump starting ourselves.
Yes.
Again, and I think I can say that we used the matches for like a build up for Cairo, which is next year in
Right.
April.
Right.
So it was about just getting ourselves, how far are we, how good are we, or how bad are we.
Yes.
And we found that we're not very good at the moment. So
Okay.
we need to pull up our socks and work very hard, and now start training for the next tournament.
Right.
Yes.
And captain, unaweza ongezaje kuhusu maneno yote about all the preparations, how you found it leading the team for this this first time in the African Para Games?
The tournament was good. Despite that, we didn't get the good results we wanted.
Right.
There's some few, maybe 1 or 2, 3 things that maybe didn't happen while here at home. Here we don't have league. That, and that part of preparedness, we were not really that prepared.
Right.
For this tournament. But what I can say, we have the good team. We really tried our best. Scoring goals against the world champions like Angola.
Right.
That was a marvelous day.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But SG,
Yes,
I would like just to get your opinion on the fact that for the first time having such an important tournament in Africa, getting that recognition for teams like Kenya, teams like Angola, when representing Africa really well. On the side of preparedness, as a federation, how do you comment the fact how the whole event was planned, and how the Kenyan team and other teams were treated generally? Was it something that we can really look up for coming forward?
Yeah. And me, what I can say is that, in amputee football,
Right.
this is a sport which is not for one person. This is a team event, and a team event should be like, we have like more training, more local training, prior to the main tournament,
Right.
which didn't happen in the first place. We find that we have a team like Morocco, we have a team like Egypt, Angola, and
Right.
even Rwanda.
Right.
They have their leagues, and even they were in the camp 6 months
Before.
before. That's why they performed marvelous. And again, our team, we were supposed to be in the camp, but again, we were waiting at least to be in the camp for like 1 month, but it didn't happen in the first place. We were given an opportunity to be in the camp for 7 days.
Right.
So, was sometimes people normally say that they are like scrapping off the local camp event, local camp preparation. But again, how can you go and perform if you are not in a local camp?
Right.
This is a team event.
Right.
The team event, the players have to be together. This is a football, and again, the football which is supposed to be like an international game, we should be having like 2, 3, 4 build-up matches to the main event,
Yes.
which should be taken care of again by the government.
Right.
So at least the next tournament, which will be in Cairo,
Right.
we expect maybe to have at least 3 or 4 international friendlies
Build up
to
matches.
the main event.
Yes.
Even if we have registered our league, but again, we're also proposing that if we can get people on board, the sponsors to come on board, so that we can have our national league,
Right.
then it will help us to even come up with even more junior players, because we have many players down there.
Right.
Not that we have only the people who have been playing since 2014 up to 2023.
Right.
Because sometimes you have to give room for development as well.
Yes.
So those are all in preparation, those are all in the progress. You know, this thing, it was to happen because I am the SG of Africa as well on Amputee football.
Okay.
So it's as my capacity as the SG of Africa, we push everybody to be on this game, even the Kenya team itself, because
Right.
the Kenya team has been suspended for not paying the world fee,
Yes.
for not paying world affiliation fee. So I put that the Kenya must be in this game so that we can at least showcase our game, which maybe it will also help us and even help bring other junior players to see that our people are really trying out there. So let me also pull up myself and be maybe in the next team where people will be going to Egypt. So
Right.
it's a very good idea for us. And again, the government should also come up and support us, just like we are also trying to improve ourselves.
All
No,
right.
this is a disabled sport. It should not be treated as like the normal able-bodied sports.
Right.
Whatever they are giving for normal able-bodied, it should be doubled.
Okay.
Because to play football with the crutches and running all over the field and
It takes
even
a lot.
scoring a goal,
Yes.
it takes a lot of strength.
Right.
Which these people should be taken care of as if they are a special group.
Right.
That is the way it should be. It should not like be the normal group. This is a special group. Going
Okay.
up there with the flag of Kenya and even flying high and even singing the national anthem in other people's countries, it's a honor,
Yes.
which should be even looked into
Okay.
properly.
Thank you so much for that. And I'm getting a lot as far as training is concerned, and as far as the preparations, to Ghana. I'd just like to know from your end, coach. How was the training process? How was the preparations done? Because at some point, just we were talking before we went on air, talking about how you were in camp, but then again it was not quite adequate time for to allow you to prepare really well for Ghana. How was the preparation process like?
First of all, we were time barred in selection of our team, because I think we were the last team to submit our team members for accreditation in
Okay.
Ghana, and that was because we did not have enough funding to put a national league, or we call it a championship,
Right.
whereby we call every county, because we have about 9 to 10 amputee football clubs around Kenya.
Yeah.
So we met in Eldoret, and we were there for 3 days
For the trials.
for trials,
Yes.
and that's where we selected our players from different counties, from different clubs, and we had about 25 players who were selected for the provisional team, and we assembled in Nairobi for 3 weeks, and so we had also now to select who's going to be in the final team, because we could not take all the 25 players.
Right.
So we only had a chance to take 15 players, and it was a tedious experience, because these players are coming from different counties,
Yeah.
meaning they don't have accommodation in Nairobi.
Right.
Some of them do not have relatives, and when they're in Nairobi, it means they're not earning, because now if somebody lives in Eldoret, they're
Right.
working in Eldoret,
Right.
and they're in Nairobi, it means now they're not earning.
Yeah.
So we had to now try to figure out, how do we accommodate these people? How do we find transport for them? I think at some point players were walking from the Durai 44
Yeah.
to Parklands, because
Okay.
they did not have transport. So this kind of a player, when he comes to the field, he's already tired.
Yes.
He cannot give
Morale,
yeah, he's already
right.
worn out. Yeah. So when you want 100% from him, he'll give you 20%.
Yeah.
Because he's already tired. He's walked a long way, and so I think it was a very difficult time for us, trying to prepare this team for the tournament. So with what we've achieved in Ghana, for us, I think we are a bit proud of ourselves. You know, we went there with our heads up. We've come back with our heads up, and we've showed that we can play. You know, the people who are watching our game, we were conceding goals that I can say we are just gifting them.
Okay.
You know, they did not struggle too much for the goals. You know, so it shows that our players did not have the concentration, because when you train and you gain confidence.
Right.
So without confidence, you will be fumbling with the ball and you will gift a player a very easy goal.
Yes.
So that is what was happening with us. But our players, I think they have the experience. They just did not have the endurance and the concentration that's needed. But it comes with the training. Right. And that is what we lacked.
Okay.
Because we only had 3 weeks non-residential and 5 days residential camp, and you know we just managed with what we had.
Okay.
And you know, kudos to my team, because we beat Uganda 4-0. Uganda have been training for the last 6-7 months. Okay. You know, and the teams that beat us, Rwanda, Angola, and Egypt, I would say that it was a fluke for them. Okay. Because we just gave them. It was a gift we gave them. So it was, you know, the easy goals, and I think with concentration, right, this team is a very good team. Okay. And we are forced to reckon with when we go to Cairo.
All right, Bona Captain, I would like to hear from you. You know, from all this, you know, the preparations. Just let Coach Amesema. It takes time, you know, from someone walking from, you know, for example, Githurai to Parklands and all that. As a team leader, how do you, you know, ensure you put, you know, your players in, you know, the correct state of mind, you know, waache kufikiria haya yote wanapitia, lakini to focus on the game, because as much as, you know, there's that instructions from the coach, you know, kupanga team, as much as keeping that dressing room, you know, that team in check, in line, you know, how do you motivate your players? How do you talk to them, you know, to try and give their best, and you know, on and off the pitch maybe?
Okay, thank you. You know, this event was international event, right. And first of all, when you are talking to players, it is not about you as individual. It right. is a whole country you are carrying on your back. Right. So when you are encouraging, despite the problems we have faced during training, all those things, what happened, now it is you and your country, right. Because you have to represent your country. Despite the problems that you have faced, you have to do that. Yes. Yeah, because no matter how we went through in Kenya, no matter what we faced, right, we have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kabisa. Mr. Secretary General, before tuende hewani tulikuwa tunaongelea hapa, the Kenya national amputee team has been there to represent you know, the World Cup level. In 2014 we were very much present, 2019 very much present. There's been that consistency as far as getting results, representing Kenya in higher stages, in bigger stages, as far as the, you know, the tournament is concerned, or rather the, you know, the sport is concerned. You know, in your own perspective as a Secretary General of the Federation, where do you think you know, the government is not should rather focus on, as far as making sure that you know, we are having these leagues set up, so that, you know, just like you mentioned earlier, having these preparations, these games, these, you know, the trial games before, you know, for the main events. What are these necessary processes that you think that you know, the government can really work on, and to make sure that the sport is generally developed?
Okay, you know, in the first place, I think all we should be proud of ourselves, again, as amputee football in Kenya. Right. Because the able-bodied, I will talk vis-a-vis the able-bodied, because they are all football. Yes. It's right that ours is football for disability. Yes. And those are the football for those people that don't have any disability. Right. We've been representing the country for the last, I can say, for the last decade in the international events. Yes. Even the Arabic stars themselves, I'm sorry to say this, they've not even represented the country even in the African games.
Yes, it's quite evident. The proof is there.
So
yeah.
Every now and again they're given like 2 months and they can even deliver. Right. But with us we are given a pinch, right, and we struggle with the disability we have. Not that we see the disability we have, we struggle with those whatever we have to deliver. So I think if they will inject more
resources in
us,
right,
then we are sure you will deliver to more than their expectations.
right,
I can say this because of what? Just recently the CS was in Kakamega on the local, I think it was the under 20 games which was happening there.
right,
Like we were also doing our preparation in Eldoret. We even sent the letter to the ministry.
it was the same time for the trials, it was around the
Sometime
same
for the
time,
trial.
yes,
Nobody even came to see us because this is the disabled sports. So nobody cares. Nobody cares. You struggle by yourself, you do it by yourself, you represent the country by yourself, you even maybe come back even sometimes with a medal. You cannot even be taken to the president to represent yourself because you are disabled.
okay,
But you find that even if you go to those other countries, the treatment you are given there is even more than the treatment you will be given if you come back into your country. And that's why you're seeing even most of our sportsmen and sports ladies, they live in the country because of that.
okay.
Because you stop by yourself, you eat by yourself, at the end of it all, you represent your country.
Right. Do you believe it's a state that not only even amputee football but other para sports
Exactly.
be it wheelchair basketball,
Exactly.
be it wheelchair, do you think it is the same kind of, there's that sidelining of
It's the same thing for learning of any sports for people with disability.
right,
You will call the higher authority to come even and see whatever you guys are doing. Nobody will take his own time to come and even see you. Nobody will even be. I think it was like 1 month ago. People were being gifted for the people who have been in sports a long time ago.
right,
Nobody
celebrating the
sportsmen.
right,
Yeah. Nobody even thought that we have people with disability
right,
who have been even running to even give us that chance to
Yes.
be there. They want to celebrate by the people who are able because the disability is not part and parcel of them.
okay.
Yeah.
We're hoping that definitely the message gets out there, and the government should really focus and turn their heads to to improve and support the sports, disability sports, mainstreaming, putting it out there, because and we're going to talk about the whole process for those who will want maybe to join the team. For example, the amputee team, the state process. But then again, Coach Dalmas, one might be asking themselves, yes, there's that difference between amputee football and the able-bodied football kama kawaida. Maybe you could just outline the how a full team is. It's seven full team members, right? Tupeleke tuna the layout of how the team is, and maybe for people to understand that see kama kawaida 11 players on each side and all that nitty-gritties.
Yeah, I mean, it's all football, but
Right.
the difference is in the technicality of the game. So, like, we are 7-a-side sport.
Right.
The other one is the normal football is 11-a-side. So in our football we play with the crutches, which is these crutches.
Mm-hmm.
So this is considered part of your hands.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to use them to play the ball. So you use only your leg to play the ball. At any given time when the ball touches the crutches, it's a handball.
Okay.
And our pitch is smaller. It's 40 by 60 or 60 by 40. We also do not have a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, he's amputated on one arm.
Right.
So either the hand is amputated or it's not functional.
Okay.
So normally it's tied against your body so that you cannot use it to handle the
To
ball.
handle the ball, yes.
So when you handle the ball with that arm that is amputated, it's a foul and it could lead to a penalty.
Right.
Also, the goalkeeper is not allowed to leave the D area. So there's a demarcation whereby you cannot leave that area. If you leave the area, then it's a free kick to the opponent.
Yes.
And you might also get a yellow card for that. The other difference also, we do not have the throw-in with our hands.
Okay.
We have a kick-in.
Okay.
We use our legs to kick the ball in when it's in the touchline. Also, what else? We have a smaller goal post, which I think is 5 meters by 2.5.
Right.
The normal one is a bit longer and the height is higher. So just a few differences, but it's the same football,
Right.
same ideology, same the way of playing is the same. Like we dribble like any other person, we do bicycle kicks, we You know, we all the sarcastic.
Tuliona, the FIFA Puskas Award went to an amputee player. It was a beautiful overhead kick. Utakuwa najiuliza what hiyo inafanywa aje? But it goes to say how much, you know, there's a lot of talent that is within the teams, a lot of individuality that people have, they bring out their all in the games. And if one would like to join, generally, and the amputee football team, because I saw, when you had the trials before the African Para Games, 15 counties, that is a lot of people coming through. That means there's that desire, there's that talent out there. People want to, there are those, those who might want to join the team, come in and also showcase their skills. How, maybe you can talk to guys to how this process works.
Yeah, so if you want to join, the amputee football national team, first of all, you have to go through a club. Okay. So wherever you are in the country, if you're in Mombasa, there's a club in Mombasa. If you're in Kilifi, there's a club in Kilifi. If you're in Kiambu, there's a club in Kiambu. So you start from the club level.
Right.
And through the club level, that's when maybe when we have the trials, you get to play for that club and you get selected. But I've had people asking us how I'm an amputee. I'm in Marsabit. I'm in somewhere in the remote areas of Kenya, and they want to join the sport. We do not have any limitation. Your only qualification to join the sport is you being an amputee.
Right.
That is your only qualification. You do not need to have a birth certificate or a special ID or a passport.
Right.
Be an amputee. Find a club near you. Join them. Play with them. And when we have trials, you get called by your club.
Right.
You play for them. If you're good enough, you get selected and you join the national team.
Right.
It's so easy.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Pale nyumbani from wherever you're watching from, of course we're getting a lot of feedback on how because there's that support, and that is what we are saying. There's that support that many would want to get involved more in the sport, because there's that proof. The proof is out there, just like you said, Bona SG. You've represented the country really well. So as you try to compare yourself with the able side, evidence easy pingwa. So I would like to know what next after the Para Games. Clearly wengine waweza kujua, but then again, there's that the Egypt tournament coming up in Egypt. Bona SG, maybe you can shine some light on that.
Yeah, because just like I said earlier, we intend to have at least 3 or 4 international friendlies.
Okay.
Before we go to Egypt.
Right.
Because initially we were thinking of maybe we can have our games in Rwanda on the day of World Disability Day, that is 3rd of December.
Okay.
Which maybe we might play Kampala on our way to Rwanda.
Okay.
So then after that we'll be having a friendly to the champions like the Ghanaians, and then maybe another friendly outside Africa.
Right.
So if all works well, then I think it will be good for us all, so that we can run to represent the country fully prepared.
Kabisa.
Yes.
Maybe coach, do you like to add on that as far as the preparations is concerned?
Yeah, I think we played in the Cup of Nations in Tanzania 2021, and after the Cup of Nations we went to sleep. This time around things will be different. As soon as next week we will begin our training programs. We have international players like KO. He plays in Turkey.
Right.
We have 2 other players who also play in Turkey. I think they will be going back to Turkey.
Yes.
So for them it will be nice, because they'll always be training and be in
actively
good
involved.
fitness
Yes.
for the games. So for the local based players, we will start training as soon as next week.
Yes.
We will have at least twice a week training at the Parkland Sports Club.
Right.
And that is just to keep them fit, and hopefully that by the time we get to next year, maybe January, February, then maybe the government will have acted on giving us a proper training camp,
right,
a residential training camp, because at least we need a minimum of at least 2 months.
Yes.
Because these players are good. If you watch the matches we played in Ghana on Facebook,
right,
because the matches was being streamed live,
right,
you will see these guys can play ball. They can play football very well. We conceded goals, easy goals, but if you look at how they're playing the ball, sometimes I tell them we play like Arsenal. Arsenal sometimes doesn't win.
You're an Arsenal fan.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
But Arsenal, wanagonga yani.
Yeah, my pass, my touch, and everything.
Game create. Now that's my style of play.
Right.
one touch, one pass, one touch, one pass, control and pass.
Great.
So if we work and build on that one, and also build on a confidence with the ball and endurance with the ball, because the game is 60 minutes.
Right.
And 60 minutes running on your crutches, you know, somebody tackles you, you have to. So there's a lot of fatigueness in the game. So if we work on that, we get our endurance on point, our concentration on point. Trust me, even Ghana can go down.
Right.
Morocco, we played them in Tanzania.
Yeah.
They won in the last, I think, the extra time.
Extra time.
Yeah,
Yes.
very last goal.
Right.
And that's how they beat us. So, but they're really good now because they've been training.
Right.
But they can also go down.
Of course.
Any team can go down against Kenya. So we will go back into training, and hopefully the government and other corporates will come on board. We thank people who've been helping us with the stadium,
Right.
where we train in the Parkland Sports Club. We go there for free of charge.
Right.
You know, they give us the facility for free of charge. You know, and we cannot thank them enough, because it's like we used to train at the city stadium. It's closed now
Right.
for the renovation.
Right.
So
Renovations.
we have a home at the Parkland Sports Club, and anybody who wants to join the national team, maybe you don't have a club, come to the field. You might even join the national team without having a club.
Right.
Because if you're good, you're good. You don't have to have a club to be a good player.
Yes.
So if you're good and you think you're good, come to the sports club, Parklands, show us what you can do, and if you're good, you join the national team. So another thing, maybe we need to work on our junior
The
national
budding
team.
talents. Yes.
Because we went to Embu,
Right.
just I think 2 weeks before we traveled, and there were school games. Joy Town was there, Nalondo, Joyland were there.
Right.
So we have a lot of talent in the school level, and that is what we want to build on now. Because I used to play. I've played the sport for 13 years.
Right.
Probably K will not be available in the next 5 years.
Right.
Munga will not be
We
available.
need new
We
crop
need new
of talent.
crop of talent,
Right.
and it's there. We have evidence, we have the photos, we have the videos, we know who to target, we have the talent, so we just have to now build it now and nurture it to be in a good quality for the national team.
Right.
Yes.
Captain Nicholas,
Yes.
with your expertise, with the experience that you have kuchezea pale nje Turkey,
Yes.
and you coming in, you know, assisting the team, you know, in preparations. Of course, you know, it's quite notable that the local based players don't go through that, you know, proper training that ahead of the games. But then again, when you're fortunate enough to have, you know, to represent, to be playing in Turkey, the Turkish league, you know, you kama ni zoezi unapitia venye inafaa.
Yeah.
In terms of comparisons, you know, maybe what are the areas as far as, you know, facilitating the training grounds, and, you know, maybe you can add on that how we should improve on that, because you've seen it all. Umekuwa pale nje, you know, a country like Turkey where facilities ziko sawa, ziko on the you know, ziko sawa kabisa. Hapa nyumbani when it comes to here bado kidogo kuna tashwishi. What can you say about that?
Yeah, what I can say is there's a very huge difference if you compare the way national team of Turkey and national team of Kenya being treated. There's a very huge difference.
Yeah.
Like in terms of preparation, mentally, like they are all well prepared.
Right.
Because when they are being good for national team, they have been well taken care of by the government. Like the able-bodied football.
Right.
They don't have any much difference, because even the grounds where they are training, the national team for able and the national team for amputees, it's the same place.
They share facilities.
Yeah, they share everything.
Okay.
They share everything. But when you come to us, you don't know even where the amputees are training,
Right.
and where the Aram stars are training.
Yes.
So that's the much different. We need this to be like, it's football. This is football. It's the same.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't say these are disabled, these are normal. In Turkey, there's no different.
Right.
And also in Turkey, it's quite easy to select the national team for amputees, because they have 3 leagues. They have Super League, they have League 1, and they have League 2.
Right.
So it's very easy for a coach to identify, I need this player, this and this, and you just form a national team.
Okay. Bwana SG, as we wind up, and the coach hapa amesema, you know, you've been fortunate enough to get, you know, guys like, you know, the grounds Parklands or open their doors. You guys come to training. As far as private, you know, assistance is concerned, you know, the parastatals, not necessarily the government coming through. You know, sometime back there was some uproar that yes, the government ilikuwa imelala kidogo. Sonko came in, pale akasaidiana majazi and everything. Are we, is there partnership like that that we could see anytime soon? Are there people who have reached out to try and help generally the sport?
Okay, to me, I can say as of now, we will only be thankful to the management of Backland Sports Club. They have really opened their arms for us to come and train there every time and again, every day we want, because they have their free gym,
right,
their free field, and even I can say the free treated water for our people. So we were looking forward to have a meeting with them after the games in Ghana, so that even if they will even take care of our players as well in terms of transport and maybe in terms of maybe feeding.
Right.
For them, if they want to train, then they should not be having problems to come and train and even to feed their stomach. Of it, they were saying that will be very positive on our side. But at the moment, it's on the Backland Sports Club, which is very unfortunate because next year we will be having Women World Cup.
Okay.
Of which we want even the Kenya team to represent the Kenya in the World Cup for women.
Right.
Yeah. So that even if it is only for us who are not even being treated like we are the national team, which has been representing the country for the last decade, every time and again there is World Cup.
Right.
And we were also like, how are we going to make sure that the women team represent us well in the long run? Which we have to do that. We have to make sure that our team also represent the country in the World Cup.
Right.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to having more corporate bodies coming on board to enable us reach this goal. Because we cannot do it alone. Even the government cannot do it alone.
Right.
Despite that the government is our main sponsor, they cannot do it alone. Even if we have something in store for us, if we go to the government that we have this, then I think everything will be okay for us.
Okay.
Because these people, these other able sport, or maybe these other people doing athletics, mostly they are employed.
Yes.
But with the disabled people, they are not employed. I can say most of them are like Usaina. Most of them are like doing their menial jobs.
Right.
So if it comes to working together and make sure that they perform, then they have to leave their jobs and work. So we are even requesting that if the government can see to this, that these people are really represented as well, how about giving them something to stick on?
Right.
I'm saying this because Angola came number 1 in Mexico.
Right.
They came number 2 in Turkey. When they were number 1 in Mexico, they were given houses. All the 28 delegations from Angola to Mexico,
okay,
all of them were given houses. The next one, which they were runners up, all of them, even if you can Google anywhere,
right,
all of them were given Prados.
right,
All of them. And the government is maintaining those houses, maintaining those Prados, and they're giving them something at the end of the month,
right,
so that they can concentrate on the field.
right.
When we were in Mexico, all the people who are there at the passport control, all of them are disabled.
Okay.
We disabled, we can do anything. Why is the government not even looking at that point? That if these people can do something, then why can't we put them even in where people do even put the stamp only on the passports?
Right.
They can do it because they have hands. Yes. Why is it that one a problem even to us, even if we can again get this opportunity to empower ourselves?
Yes.
In the long run, because we will not be on the field till we die. It will be like at least 5 to 10 years. Then after that, umesaulika.
Right.
Yeah. So we should have something after sports. What is it? For those who have been representing the country in the line of disability and in sports.
Right.
That is very important to us, and it will also even help bring up more youth to join sports as disabled. Not that they will see that disabled, they will stop coming up or coming out for people to support them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kabisa. Coach, ungetaka kuongezea?
Yeah, Kiongeza, maybe we want to really work hard and to make sure that by next year we have a national league.
Right.
And national league will be very, very fundamental for us as a national team, because all these countries that are performing very well, they have leagues, and that is where the basis of the performance is coming from. And you've seen Azam TV, they've taken the rights
the
for
partnership, yes.
So maybe Science TV.
Amen.
Because now we have the Amputee League.
Right.
We don't have any other station that Science TV is a special station.
For sure, for definitely we can work something else.
So if you guys can come on board,
right,
and join us, partner with us for that sector,
right,
because people want to watch us from their living rooms.
Definitely.
They want to see Dalmas shouting there, and KU playing. So also we would want to engage more partners.
Right.
Because having a league is not something small.
Right.
We need people to come on board and help us financially, because for example, we have a team in Mombasa. They need to come to play a team in Nairobi,
Right.
a team in Kiambu. They need to travel from Mombasa to Nairobi. Transport, accommodation, everything, including the logistics. So we're going to have to come up with a budget. The SG will and the office will do that.
Right.
And I'll help them because I was playing in Turkey.
Right.
I know how things go, and just put a plan, at least for an 8 months long league.
Right.
And let's see how it goes, because that is where Kenya will now be a giant team.
Right.
Yes.
And it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done.
Other countries have done it.
Right.
Rwanda are playing a league.
Right.
Tanzania are playing a league. Uganda, they're playing a league.
And hopefully we're going to get a chance
And
also
we
to
are
host as well.
Yes, we are the big brother, because we
Right.
started Amputee football before Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania. They have leagues and we don't have.
Okay.
So there's something that we're not doing right.
Right.
And if we have people who want to partner with us, we are ready for that.
All right.
Yes.
Definitely, it is a wake-up call to the government, and I hope the relevant stakeholders are getting this, because it's time for that inclusion in sports. Tusikuwe tunawachwa tu nyuma kimataa hivi.
Yeah.
Because just like SG umesema, it's quite it is important, because we have all of these talents that are it's going to waste 5 to 10 years. Ushughulikiwa to putting the Kenyan flag high as far as the sports is concerned. We've seen that how the other able sports athletes are being treated. For example, the likes of Omanyala, when they do really well, they come back, get recognized. The Faith Kipegons and the likes. So yes, it is about time that we drive that inclusion as far as the sports is concerned. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this particular segment. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time. And kama kawaida, just like you did, congratulations for making representing Kenya pale Ghana. And as far as getting the road to Egypt is concerned for the African Cup of Nations for the Amputee football, all the preparations, the friendlies that you need, I'm pretty sure things will work out, and itafika pale nje venye nafaa. Ama namna gani? Thank you so much, Coach Dalmas. Asante sana, Captain. Bwana SG. Hope kazi itakuwa salama, si ndio?
Kazi itakuwa salama.
Nimeshukuru sana.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a quick breather, but when we get back, talking about the resumption of football, that is KPL, APL as well. Kumbuka pale Eugene, the Diamond League in its finals, Omanyala is going to do another sub-10 performance. We are going to wait on that come tomorrow. But then again, we are continuing with such discussions with my partner Elvis just after the break. Don't go anywhere. Keep it Science TV.